writing only. Go right into elected officials.
Okay. All right, the reports, I understand the Audit Committee report and the Construction Oversight Review Committee report. There's no oral report this evening. It's attached as a written report. That takes us to the speakers, elected officials, and delegates. Would Representative Michael Caruso and Representative Tina Polsky please come up to the podiums on either side of the boardroom? Good afternoon, Mr. Caruso.
Good afternoon, Chairman Barbieri. How are you?
I'm good, I think. Depends on what you're going to say.
Well, let's see. Good evening, board members. My wife Tracy and I just returned from Poland, where we visited Auschwitz and Birkenau. We saw the gas chambers, stood inside the shower rooms, quote unquote, saw the holes in the ceiling where the gas dropped into the room, saw the ovens, the rooms of hair, and the rooms of children's shoes. Tracy and I walked the barracks, touched the barbed wire fencing, and read and listened to the horrific stories of the few survivors who lived to tell the world. Sadly, the Holocaust is part of our world's history and is undeniably the truth and a fact. Then I couldn't believe on my way home to South Florida after reading a Palm Beach Post article that Mr. Latson, a principal in our school system, was outlandishly denying what I had just witnessed. Mr. Latson's hateful words and actions have meaning and consequences. We can no longer stand by and tolerate this anti-Semitic behavior. During this most recent legislative session, I drafted and we passed unanimously House Bill 741, which is called the Anti-Semitic Act. It was signed by Governor DeSantis on May 31st. It's now the law in our public schools. Sadly, I never expected that we would need the power of this law so soon. When it was determined that Mr. Latson wrote a year ago the words, quote, "I cannot say the Holocaust is a factual historical event," he should have been terminated right then, but he wasn't. Instead, we sent him on vacation to be re-educated, swept this under the carpet, and allowed this man to continue to influence our children. Where was the personnel investigation then? Why was Superintendent Fenoy's office never notified? Why did it take a year? Why did it take the Palm Beach Post to expose this? And there are more questions. Why were we told this contract had expired, that it would not be renewed, when clearly it had already been renewed? Further, why are we not voting tonight to terminate this man? Due process? Seriously? Show me the email where he wrote, "I cannot say the Holocaust is a factual historical event," and I would venture to say that this is all the due process we need. As you well know, our faith calls for us to stand for the 6 million Jews slaughtered by the Nazis in World War II and speak up for the millions of others, including Catholics, Gypsies, the mentally and physically handicapped, and those of the LGBTQ community that were silenced by Hitler's army of evil. Therefore, I call on the Palm Beach County School District and all the Florida school boards to review the way they are educating our children on the Holocaust as required by law. I call on the Palm Beach County School District and the Florida school boards to educate our administrators and our teachers and all school district employees, in addition to the students, on the atrocities of the Holocaust. And I demand on the behalf of the residents of District 89, my district, residents of Palm Beach County, and on behalf of the millions killed in the Holocaust, I demand a full investigation into Mr. Latson, a full investigation into the cover-up by the former South County Regional Superintendent, a full investigation of how we were misled as to Mr. Latson's employment status during the last 2 weeks, and a full disclosure of all of these findings. I demand that Mr. Latson be terminated now, tonight, and no longer allowed to serve in any capacity in our school system. Mr. Latson may have a First Amendment right to his ignorant opinion, but he doesn't have a right to a taxpayer-funded paycheck. Board members, it's time to stand up for what is right and just. They said never again, but here we are, tonight, again. And may I add, shamefully. Thank you.
Representative Polsky.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and members of the board, Superintendent Fenoy. I am actually not speaking on the subject of Dr. Latson. You all know where I stand on that with press releases and my meetings with the district and my continued meetings with you all that we have coming up. I would like to thank you for allowing me the opportunity to speak before you again on the very important topic of the 2020 school start date. Though I must say I am very disappointed that we all need to be back here to rehash this issue after just a few weeks. It was my understanding that after the workshop, where many people were heard and where board members specifically asked for other options, none are now provided. So the board members are left with the difficult decision to approve or not approve a calendar that so many students have a problem with because not a single other option was offered. But don't worry, we have some options for you today. I am concerned that if we don't push back the start date, the district will just choose the earliest date possible, August 10th, every year, as it makes it very easy on them, despite the fact that it creates a tremendous problem for so many students. Case in point, the 2021 calendar starts on Tuesday, August 10th, and yet there are no election days that year where schools need to be closed. I grant you that 2020 is a challenging calendar because of 2 election days and 2 Jewish holidays that fall during the week. That is not always the case, as you all know. So if we have a challenging calendar, let's come up with a creative solution. I propose that we have school on the Monday and Tuesday of Thanksgiving week and the Monday and Tuesday of Christmas break week, which still gives everyone a travel day before the holiday. Returning those 4 days allows school to start Friday, August 14th, 2020. I have not heard a single student or parent request August 10th. While many may not understand why these students here need a later start date, there is no other side to this debate. The later start date harms no students or parents. In fact, I believe most parents would prefer to have a shorter Thanksgiving and Christmas break. The other concerned parties are teachers who might like longer breaks but are not losing any money or any days off. And you all know I'm a huge advocate for the teachers. This has nothing to do with them. These teachers also work at these camps and other summer opportunities and will be unable to do so in the future. As for the bus drivers and other workers who could be delayed in their paycheck, I have several ideas. I am not an expert in this complicated issue, and again, I am disappointed that no other options were given by the experts. These folks will not lose money because there will always be the same number of days of school. The issue is when they get their paycheck. A few options. Add some practice run days before school starts for which they can get paid. Offer a small bonus at the end of the next school year, which can be an advance on salary. Give them plenty of notice so that they can budget and plan accordingly. And for all our benefits, extend the school year by a day or 2 each year so that in just a few years we can start just 1 week later and end just 1 week later in June. I have been told that one problem with the last suggestion is that kids have nothing to do after national testing. I just had a senior graduate who took multiple AP classes but still had other classes to take. And how do schools up north manage when they finish at the end of June but their students take the same national tests? This may seem like a small problem for a small group of people, but this is your constituency. They matter. This is the reality of Palm Beach County. We may be different than 66 other counties, but so what? We are unique, and the needs of our students must be accounted for, especially when adjusting the calendar to accommodate them hurts no one else. And we have managed many years to start school the 3rd week in August, which is a simple resolution going forward. You as the school board members are the last hope to make a calendar that works for everyone, because ignoring all these parents and students who have come here today and a few weeks ago and have written and called all of you, it would be a true disservice to the purpose of your calling to look out for the students who you represent. Thank you.
James Gabrilos, President and CEO of the Education Foundation, and Charmaine Postal, President, Palm Beach County PTA. Would you please come to the podiums?
Good evening, Dr. Fenoy, Chairman Barbieri, members of the school board, respected administrators, honored guests. July is sort of a bridge month for the Education Foundation. We finish our look back on the previous fiscal year, and then we look forward to the 2019-2020 year. I shared with you last month kind of the fiscal reality of the value that we brought to the district and the success we had in the previous year. But it's not all about numbers and grants and dollars and programs, it's about kids. And astoundingly, between our Red Apple Supply Program and our grant program, in the 2018-2019 school year, the Education Foundation programs touched the lives of 122,065 students in the Palm Beach County School District. Even more importantly for us, 1,531 teachers benefited from programs, either, again, at Red Apple Supply or grants that we have funded. And that excites us. And Mr. Barbieri, you and I have known each other for many years, from my days back at Boca Helping Hands. Deep down, I'm a malcontent. I'm never satisfied, and we're growing. And your Education Foundation is not content to sit on those numbers and say, yay, hooray for us. And so 2019, 2020 for us, it's a new day, it's a new game, and it's a new challenge. Where are we going in this next year? Well, a couple of things, all related to growth. First of all, as we grow our business partnerships, I stand before you every month and I say our stated mission is to bring the business community to support the world of education. This isn't just fluff or rhetoric or empty mission statements. Just in the last 96 hours, we've received financial support and commitments from Coca-Cola, U.S. Sugar, UTC, and SBA Communications, as well as the Palm Beach Sheriff's Office. To show you the commitment that these business partners have to the world of education, they are approaching us and asking for board positions. In the next meeting, Ms. Brill, you'll be at the meeting, Dr. Fenoy as well. We will be presenting as candidates for a board position on your Education Foundation's senior management staff from U.S. Sugar, TD Bank, the Palm Beach Sheriff's Office, and the Breakers. These incredible community partners are saying to us, how do we get involved? With their support, we're going to grow. Growth area number one, Red Apple Supply Store. A study came out just this week. 98% of teachers in the United States of America dip into their own pocket to buy school supplies. This is a national shame. This is a national catastrophe. Red Apple Supplies this year served 43 schools. We're going to serve 53 schools in the coming year. We've already reached out to the 10 schools that we're going to be bringing on, and we're going to be increasing the number of products that we distribute, as well as the sheer amount we distribute, thanks to our partnership with Office Depot, who has promised us one semi-truck every 6 to 8 weeks. So Chairman Barbieri, our Red Apple Supply Program is not going to sit back. It's going to continue to grow until within 7 years we are serving every school in the district. On the program side of things, I gave you a teaser last month. The matching grant program for the last 2 years has stayed level at roughly $229,029.84, give or take a penny or two. Amazingly, this year, Tallahassee actually increased it. Our cut this year is $287,000, which we're going to match with $287,000 local dollars, giving us an additional $120,000 in grants to award to your teachers, your schools, and your principals. Finally, last but not least, our Go Teach program. Last year, we awarded 61 grants. Yay! We're not content to sit there. This year, and the application deadline doesn't close until Friday, we have received 125 applications for Go Teach grants. With our business partnerships, we're going to make sure that they get funded, every single one of them, so that every teacher in our district has the tools, support, resources they need to touch the students. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to grow. We're not sitting back. We're moving forward because we are your Education Foundation, serving the schools, teachers, and students in the finest school district in the state of Florida. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Gabriel.
Good evening, Chair Barbieri, board members, Superintendent Dr. Fenoy, and everyone in your respective places. Charmaine Postal, Palm Beach County Council, PTA, PTSA. PTSA, for those that don't know what that is, Parent-Teacher Association or Parent-Teacher-Student Association under the umbrella of the National PTA organization, is the part of the fabric of United States public education system and trusted partner to millions of parents, family, educators, and community members as it advocates for education, health, and well-being of all children. Let me remember that. Let me rephrase that. All children, or restate that, all children. PTA has been instrumental in establishing programs and services to improve children's lives. Just a few days ago, on Sunday, we returned where over 1,000 delegates throughout the state of Florida attended the annual leadership convention located at the Innisbrook Resort in Palm Harbor. Our local unit delegates learned about healthy hydration grants, among other grants available to our members. Our members unanimously approved to pass a resolution which enables us to advocate for banning sexual orientation reparative therapies, also known as conversion therapies. And we also unanimously passed a resolution supporting career and technical education. Back in our district, we are on a great start to the school year. Thank you, Dr. Fenoy, for meeting with us just a few shy weeks ago, and other members of the district. Volunteers are getting ready to welcome back teachers, students, and parents with various programs and activities. And as we at the County Council prepare for family and community engagement filled calendar, we invite you, everyone in this room, whether you're a local unit principal, a principal who does not have a PTA at your local unit, if you're interested in learning about PTA, a school board member, area regional superintendent, local PTA president, for a welcome back and meet and greet on August the 26th. If you want to learn about PTA, you want to learn about the benefits of PTA, that is when you can learn about PTA. Lastly, our mission is making every child's potential a reality by engaging and empowering families and community to advocate for all children. That means all children. Those children in the Glades, the North, the Central, and the South region. All children. This year, our theme is invite, involve, and invest. So I stand before you to invite you, this entire room, to get involved at your school, to invest in all children at that school, because all children are our children, and that is our motto for the Florida PTA. If there is anything that you want from us, we ask you to reach out to us. We have an open door. Our doors are always open. Our tables always have room. And if they don't have a room, bring your own chair or stand in a room. Just don't leave the room, but learn about how you can advocate for your children, for our children, for all children. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Joaquin Garcia, Chair of the Hispanic Education Coalition of Palm Beach County, and Chuck Ridley from Unifier.
Good afternoon, Chairman Barbieri, board members, and Superintendent Dr. Fenoy. I'm Dr. Joaquin Garcia, Chair of the Hispanic Education Coalition of Palm Beach County. I have worked with this district for many years, dedicating an enormous amount of my personal time to improve equity and inclusion for all children. And yet, here we are. The percentage of Hispanic children has increased to a staggering 37%, becoming the largest demographic group, and with projections to become 44% in the next 4 years. However, the amount of Hispanic teachers and administrators continue to be abysmally low. Bilingual personnel is rare and continues to dwindle at the time when we have to prepare our children for a multilingual world. Efforts to diversify personnel has been minimal. The HR department due diligence has been precarious at best. There is not intentionality to fulfill the state's equity and multicultural mandates. Many of us have advised the district of these failures multiple times, like I did at the Diversity Committee and at the Hispanic Latino Town Hall 7 months ago. And the district have chosen to ignore it. For example, there is one person responsible for equity for the entire district, one person for Holocaust studies, one person for Hispanic Latin studies, one person for African Americans, and no one for gender studies. Not only that, these individuals are not supported financially or professionally. Their work has not been given the importance that it deserves. As you all know, the Holocaust recent scandals reached national and international prominence when covered by the media in Israel, Spain, and elsewhere. This shame was a self-inflicted wound that could have been avoided had the district taken the appropriate timely actions which would have addressed any anti-Semitic comments. The reality is that the district chose to protect the status quo instead of standing for the values of our community. The task of educating children, teachers at school level, district level administrators, in the historical contributions as mandated by the state of Florida has been neglected. It seems that few care. It is an international scandal going to be enough to correct this detrimental situation for our children, or are we to be known as a retrograde district? What is going to change? Where is the accountability? Where is the leadership? I want to remind the board members that they have a fiduciary obligation to the children to do what is best for them and to hold the district accountable for transparency. Many of the board members have asked for the right questions, but I don't think they have been given the complete picture. The change that is needed must be immediate and visible. I am willing to work side by side with the district, as I always have, for the sake of a future generation, progress, and equitable education for all. Thank you very much.
Mr. Redley?
Good evening, School Board Superintendent. My name is Chuck Ridley, and I'm the chair of Unifier Palm Beach County. Unifier exists for one simple purpose, that is to build power for Black people and Black communities. You have state statutes that address the requirements for instructions. Two of them mandate that you provide history for the Holocaust, as well as to history for African Americans. The school district, let's just start with the Holocaust. As a school district, you're required to elevate the systemic, planned annihilation of the European Jews and other groups by the Nazi Germans. As it relates to African American history, the school district is required to teach the history of African people before the political conflicts that led to the delivery of slavery. Now, why is this important? This is important because all children, not just the Black children, need to know that African Americans are not the descendants of slaves. We're the descendants of kings and queens that were kidnapped, enslaved, and transported to this country. All children need to know that more than 2 million Africans died when they were captured in Africa. And then another 2 million plus died on the trip from Africa here. All children need to know that well over 60 million kidnapped Africans were killed here, over 60 million during the 400-year slavery here in this country. Not in Europe, not by Nazi Germans, by God-fearing church folk. Some will call themselves politicians. Some will call themselves lawyers, business owners. That's our history. Now, there is an African proverb that my grandmother and Dr. DuPont uses often. And in my grandma's voice, it goes like, "Boy, what you doing is so loud, I can't hear what you say." Yeah. So let me ask you a question. Raise your hand if you consider yourself an advocate for the African American curriculum. Now, I want you to, good, you can raise them, you got time. Now, keep them up if the Black community will call you an advocate for the African and the African American curriculum. Interesting. See, boy, let me just tell you something. I've observed you over the last month. And here is what I figured out. You don't do things just because it's right. You do it because somebody made you do it. You do things right when powerful constituencies show up. And I'm not sharing that powerful constituencies shouldn't show up. But you need to do things right because all children deserve an advocate to make sure that their history is taught. And so the black community is just we just ain't gonna wait on you all no longer. We're tired of this. 20 years I've been doing it. You've ignored it. So we're gonna organize. And we're gonna learn what the other powerful constituency do. And we're gonna help you understand that you're not gonna do it because it's the right thing to do or because it's the just thing to do. You're gonna do it because we're gonna make you do it. Now, you good folk have a good evening. Thank you.
Shanique Motley from the Executive Board, member of the FPSU, and Dr. Kathy Gunn, League of Women Voters.
This is very different. I need a step, though. I'm used to sitting there. Good evening, Chairman Barbieri, board members, Dr. Fenoy, and members of the dais. I am Dr. Kathy Gunlack. I'm now co-chair of the Education Committee of the League of Women Voters in Palm Beach County. I am here tonight to let you know the League has been working with a number of school district personnel on a celebration of public education to be held in September. This will highlight the district choice programs as well as the exceptional teachers and students and parents in Palm Beach County. I'm inviting all of you to attend all of the events. On Saturday, September 7th, Dr. Geraldine Johnson, Director of Choice and Career Options, will present a choice program followed by a mini showcase of schools and programs. It will be held at the STEM Center at Dreher Park with registration beginning at 9:30 a.m. On Tuesday, September 10th, we will be having a bus tour of schools and programs starting from the district at 9:30 a.m. And finally, on Wednesday, September 18th, Dr. Fenoy will be presenting on the state of the schools at a luncheon at the Atlantis Country Club with registration beginning at 11 a.m. There's a $25 charge, by the way, for the luncheon, and $35 if you're late. So the other two events are free, and Dr. Fenoy, you will be our guest. You will need to register for each event on the League website, www.lwvpbc.org, as seating is limited for all of the events, so register early. We hope to see all of you. This is open to the public as well as all of our members, all three of the events. I want to thank Mr. Tierney, Dr. Geraldine Johnson, Claudia Shea, and mostly Kathleen, and I'm going to try her name, Villavicencio, for their assistance in the planning and execution of these events. You'll probably see me next month talking about it again. You will also see it on our website, the flyers, and you're going to see it on your website also. So we hope to see you all there. So thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Motley? Is she here? Ms. Motley, are you here? No. Mr. Katz, President of the Classroom Teachers Association? Mr. Katz, if you want to go to the other podium.
Dear school board members and superintendent, my name is Sean Motley. Sorry. My name is Sean Motley. I'm a maintenance service rep for Palm Beach County School Board Maintenance and Plant Operations Department. I'm also a member of the bargaining committee representing thousands of my colleagues working day and night at the school district. Our members are some of the most loyal and hardworking employees here at the district. A successful bargaining process should encourage dialogue, collective learning, and working through differences, ultimately reaching a solution that benefits both parties. As a proud union member, I believe that we bring a collective voice of the workers on the bargaining table to improve the quality of valuable services that the school district provides to our community, parents, and our children. We have been at the bargaining table now with the school district since January 2019. We have presented a broad range of proposals on economic and non-economic issues such as work rules and conditions. Unfortunately, when it comes to non-economic issues, we have hit a wall. For whatever reason, the board has decided to play hardball. This makes absolutely no sense to us. We are simply looking to address issues that will improve our quality of life. This appears to be something the board is unwilling to do. FPSU is willing to accept the economical proposal as offered by the board. We accept this proposal because we understand the current economic environment. Our proposal reflects what was offered to all other collective bargaining units. Certainly, a raise in wages is important, but we will need more than just a raise in wages. We will need a raise in morale of our labor, a raise in respect, recognition of those who do the hands-on day-to-day grinding to make things happen. We need fairness, equality, and how we negotiate quality of life issues for all of our employees. So board members, we need you to consider all the hard hours put in by maintenance technicians and maintenance workers who keep our schools running all year round. We need you to remember our bus workers who greet the children every morning on the bus, the food service workers who prepare nutritious meals for our children, the efforts of our early childhood professionals who calm anxious children, and the work of our custodians and mechanics. I hope you will keep us in mind and make this process move along. And I wish you a very good night. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, Board. First, I want to repeat the sentiment earlier from a number of you that our ability to retain the A rating when every year the bar seems to be higher and higher from the state legislature and from the DOE is a testament to the hard work of all of our employees, teachers, administrators, everybody in this building, and everyone in any other capacity. Again, it's a validation of what we do here every day, and I'll segue with that into our public knows we're doing a great job. That's why they support us in our endeavors, and because of their support, this school district will be safer than it's ever been. It will provide more arts and academy programs than it's ever provided before, and teachers will be paid a better take-home pay than ever before as a result of the support of 72% of our voters. So with that being said, I want to wish everybody a great start to the school year in the coming weeks. I'm as excited as I've ever been because I think the teachers and our employees are more excited than they've ever been because of the successes over the past year. So I want to thank you all very much for that. I will be back to speak later on an agenda item, so I'll be sticking around. Thank you all very much.
Thank you. That takes us to agenda topic speakers.